We are? Yes, we're live. It is EuroScrum. Sam and Sam Pretty are here. Let's go to screen share. Go to my desktop. And Pavel is here. Pavel.
Yeah, hi
Hey,
Sam. Hi
Pavel.
guys.
Awesome. Long time no see.
Yeah.
Let us jump over to, let's do a people-focused Scrum. Would you start with Sam Pretty? How are things with you?
I had a very good session with John yesterday
Uh-huh.
night. On two things. One was the time zone calculation for website one, and the other
Mm-hmm.
was authentication its controller. So
Mm-hmm.
both of we made a lot of progress, and then he was going to do that for the interview. So
Right.
he had to leave midway
Mm-hmm.
because he had a phone interview, and then I think Paul was there and he was working on some automator fun in the background as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good stuff.
yeah, that's all.
All right.
Uh,
Anything blocking you?
no, not much. There are two pull requests from Yarrow. Like one was the Hangouts feature, which has been recreated, to make it smaller,
Mm-hmm.
and the minimum product, the minimum thing that can be merged in. So I was thinking of some changes to that. So I'll just do some review of that, and then there
Okay.
is the other discuss thing, which there's about 100 conversation on that. Like there's
Right.
a long,
Mm.
so that needs to be done as well, and then. I think that's all. No, my plans for today, I don't know. I might be pairing again with John
Mm-hmm.
after the Atlantic Scrum if he comes back
Yes.
and if he has time. And not many plans other than that.
Sure. 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 Pavel, how are you?
Yeah.
How are things with you?
Oh, I'm great. All
Mm.
is okay. Just as regular. Oh, but yesterday, no, yesterday I haven't done America Scrum, played
Mm-hmm.
with children, but thanks, I'm pretty done it for me. For today, I'm going to perform that America Scrum as usual, and actually, last days there are more people than it was before.
Right. Right. Yes.
I hope that many 169 students will join us
Yes.
very
Yes.
soon. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, fingers crossed. I think it's we're getting into 169 too. I think there's a sort of a hardcore who are continuing to be doing pairing each week, and I think that they will want to have once the course ends, they'll be like, right, where's our pair? They need to get their weekly pairing fix. So yeah, good stuff. But yes, and anything blocking you, Pavel?
No, no, actually, not
No,
really.
oh, good show. And any plans in particular? I think you said just American Scrum today.
No, I think not. Well, I'm thinking about that new project that Yaro wanted to do, but
Mm.
he still didn't decide what exactly, so I'm just waiting for for
Ah,
now.
when you
Yeah.
say new project, you mean a new like a brand new a new Agile Ventures thing or a new what?
Well, as I know, he wants to do something for Agile Ventures,
Right.
like
He
kind
wasn't
of branch for Agile Ventures, something like that. That's a mix of commercial project
right.
and open source.
Right.
That may be quite interesting.
Sure. Yeah. That sounds interesting. Yes, indeed. I think in particular, I mean, I don't know if you saw already. I certainly hope you did. These lo-fi that I did for the new process of starting the scrums. In particular, I've done user stories here for the Scrum Master and Scrum attendees, and this kind of like minimum viable product. Um, anyway, your as a regular Scrum Master, your input on these and like particular things that you need or would like
Yeah,
very
okay,
very
let me see.
valuable.
Because I saw the lo-fi for pair programming, but it was from John, I think. I haven't seen this one.
Yeah, this one I
So I
credited
was.
yesterday morning. Partly, this is partly thinking about John's thing, although this is not intended as a replacement for John's thing. This is particularly thinking just about the immediate flow as you start a Scrum. We've got this series of buttons on, like here on the right-hand side, that we have to press because that's what Google Hangouts does.
Mhm.
It was given that Yarrow had now set up something so that we could automate the updating of this link. I wanted to show like what was the minimum changes to the existing interface that would be important to smooth the flow. Yarrow had been thinking to remove the ability to manually edit the Hangout link, and I was pointing out that sometimes the automated thing may fail, or there's just
Mhm.
some. I think we still need the the ability for manual override on all the different elements. Anyway.
But what's the difference between what we have now? Because what we have now is very easy to start Scrum's feature. Why do we want to change it?
Oh, the only change is, what I think the key thing that I would want to change is when I start a Scrum, that as well as clicking on the Start Google Hangout and I have to go through this series of things for Google, I also have to manually edit this link here, right? I mean, you do the same, right? You have to go and grab the URL from that thing itself and then stick that into the appropriate places. And so it's not just here. I have to stick it in here, and then I also have to go and stick it in Slack. And that's it's partly the fact that it doesn't take very long, but doing 2 Scrums every day as I do, the time adds up. And two, it's always, because it's like a mechanical thing, like there's always something that could go wrong. I can, and for anybody starting a Scrum, you can accidentally fail to put it in the right chat room, or what have you. There's a transcription error, or who knows what it is. So with the ability that Yarrow's got with this plugin, so what the main change would be in the first instance is that this link would be automatically updated in the site. You wouldn't have to manually do it. I still want the manual override to be there in case it doesn't work, or there's some other issue that comes up, but it would be one less thing that the Scrum Master has to remember. And then I would say, I mean, Yarrow then is talking about adding lots of things in here, like, for example, list of attendees and so on, which I think sounds great. But before we do that, I was saying, the critical thing is to leave the existing functionality that we rely on, automatically update the thing in the site, and then I would say connect it to Slack and automatically post into the
yes, that may be really useful to Slack, because that take much more time than copy and paste the link in here.
Right. And it also go on, Sampati.
Yeah, just so you know, like I was just writing the script yesterday for posting to Slack, like, so that if Yarrow just posts the URL with the Hangout link and the Hangout event name to a particular URL for my Hubot, it will automatically post to the required channels.
Fantastic. Yes, and I think it's for consistency. I mean, like, Scrums are something that we will rely on heavily. So I think, and obviously the Scrum Masters put in a lot of work to make sure that they happen and organize and so on. So I think in the first instance, making the Scrum Master's job easier, and 2, making sure that the things are done reliably, that kind of basically reduces some of the friction in our system. And then, having got that working and checked that is exactly what we want, then we can start to add, more and other features. And I think, worry about also trying to make this page as clear as possible for people coming into the Scrum. Like, some people might be confused about, do I need to click the start? Anyway, that's a whole nother story.
Great.
But David's arrived. David, how are things with you?
Oh, all right, thanks. Yes, no updates from the last Scrum. I wasn't able to get to feature flags, but I want to do some pairing on that shortly if I can.
Right, good show. Yeah, I think somebody might be available. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm available after this if you can join.
Right, good show.
David.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so but nothing blocking you then, David?
Not that I think of, no.
Great.
Wasting too much time with Windows instead of apart from that.
Indeed, a problem. So the thing that leaves me, yeah, I had a big pairing day at Makers yesterday. I don't know if I've told Sampritty and Sampritty and David before. I just thought, since Pavel's here, not necessarily that interesting. One of the things that I'm doing, so I'm doing Makers Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I'm basically pairing with the students, like, all day, every day, and I'm videoing all of it and capturing the GitHub repos and so on, and it's all underneath this pair programming RSpec exercise where I did a sort of basic RSpec exercise for pairing. So I'm hoping that what I've also done actually is I invited all of the Makers students into the Agile Ventures thing. So you see these people who've just joined here: Kate, Jean Gomin Nasai, Jay White, Roy, Margarita, Julia. They're all in the May cohort. They're all now in their 5th week of learning RSpec and Ruby and so on. I'm hoping ultimately that we'll be doing these pairings rather than on toy code, but on actual Agile Ventures projects. If you want to check it out.
So this is your schedule?
This is my schedule. This is my schedule for the Monday, Wednesday, Friday that I'm doing. So I basically allow students to book time slots with me.
Why is it on GitHub, not in Agile Ventures?
Mainly because this is not an Agile Ventures thing. It's Makers Academy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's kind of I felt like I don't want to force the students in the first. I'm kind of like gradually. What's the word? I'm trying to attract them to Agile Ventures. I'm kind of not forcing them in there. It's also that these are not open in the way that at least at the moment I don't think I can open these sessions to other Agile Ventures members. The Maker students are paying a large amount of money in order to access the resources of Makers Academy, and they're also in the first 6 of them they start from nothing. Like the majority of them have no programming experience whatsoever, and you can maybe have a little look at. Their ability is increasing extremely fast because they have this very intense program that we teach them at Makers Academy. But so I'm hoping maybe within a week or two, and we start. They're just being introduced to Sinatra, and in a week or two they'll be introduced to Rails. Is that they will start to be able to open up these sessions, and like if we start doing pairing with Maker students on local support or what have you, then they'll be open for all. But at the moment, this is just. I'm kind of using this wiki as a sort of simple place to because it allows basically the students to edit it themselves and put their names in here. Of course, in principle, we could be using an Agile Ventures page, but I'm trying. It's kind of slightly under the radar, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so I mean, in the long run, go on.
Yeah, so what I was saying is, like, since today is Thursday, and do you you have some free time today, like, do you want to take up some time and sort out the certificates thing?
Yeah, we could do. I mean, I think so. Let me finish. So what I've done this morning already is I've just done a complete walkthrough of the Oracle of Bacon homework, which is due to be released in just under 2 hours for the 1692 MOOC. So, and I've just recorded a new video for that, which I need to put in. But that's basically done. But so the other things that I need to do today. So the local support meeting is cancelled. We could do the level 2 certificates, but I need to work on my list of priorities. In that, what we've got. Can I find the right window? Here we go. What we've got coming up. I guess the quiz is also going live. I just need to look through that quickly. But what we've got is this. I think before those level 2 certificates, I need to be rearranging or looking at. I need to be triaging this refactoring and legacy homework, and I kind of must do that. I think first. But yes, potentially. I mean, I'm going to be available and be doing this in live sessions here for everybody to join in today. Anything else happening today? Yeah, I mean, I guess this is my priority today. Is this dealing with this legacy homework? But if we can get that finished or in a state where I've got some free time left over, then we could be looking at the level 2 certificates. Indeed.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, that's my. I don't think there's anything technically blocking me at the moment. Yeah, I just need to get. Now that's. I mean, I basically haven't looked at any of my. In order to get this Oracle of Bacon video done and sorted and so on, I basically sat down this morning and I said, all right, I'm not going to look at any email, I'm not going to look at anything at all, just be completely focused on it, because often I will lose an hour in the morning catching up. Anyway, but yeah, so I mean, David and somebody, if you're going to work on the feature flag thing now, I could be around to give you input on that. Yeah, if there's any, if there needs to be clarification, but probably what I will do immediately now is I will maybe set up a MOOC hangout and just get the last bits of stuff there. So you could create your own local support one and jump backwards and forwards if you need input or what have you. I don't know what the best way to do it is. But,
David, can you create the hangout? David, can you create a hangout?
Yeah, I have to reboot this machine first.
Okay. All right, well, I'll wrap the Scrum up there. It sounds like we've got a local support hangout going on. I'll create a MOOC one. Pavel, so great to see you. Thanks so much for all of your hard work on the America Scrum. I guess I'm really interested to see if I have no idea if anybody is ever actually running the kind of, what from my point of view is like if anybody runs the Pacific Scrum ever. I know that. Do we even know if anybody is ever running that, or it's always?
I don't know. I see it only in events, but no idea if someone. But as I know, It's from Odin Project, Pacific Scrum, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't. I mean, I think they may still be running their
Yeah, I
I
saw an
think
invitation on
they
Google
still,
Plus for it, but
yeah, they use Google Plus events. They don't post it
right.
in Scrum.
I don't know the extent to which they use Agile Ventures. Although, I mean, the interesting thing I think as well, once we've got this, the other things. I mean, I feel bad for Yao because he's so excited about different things, and I'm sort of forcing him to do the simple stuff. But if we do start to have this tracking, you know what I mean? If we start to have this tracking process whereby we can record how many people were in the Hangout, we can start to get stats about attendance on different scrums and things, and you can see, which scrums are active with which projects.
Yeah, that's real good because we need to understand how we're going,
Yeah,
what is our dynamic,
that's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, kind of that's not possible with the current way of doing things because like on different days different scrums even though like there are different scrums on different days, our event system manages them as one event or one model in the database.
right. Well, but yeah, we can get around with things like that. I mean, the thing is for me in now, what was it, 5-6 weeks? I'm gonna go to Japan for 4 weeks, so I'll be in a different time zone, and I might be in a position to actually inspect those, and I'll be kind of running a different set of scrums while I'll be in Japan. So maybe I'm looking forward to investigating what happens during the midnight hour. All right, and that's the scrum.